Hello, dear friends. In today's video, I will show my game against Laurent Fressinet, French Team Championship, another important theoretical game. Let's go. So I had white pieces, and I was thinking about uh, which move to play. It's known that Laurent Fressinet plays Berlin, and just next game against MVL, Maxime Vacher-Lagrave. They had a battle in Berlin endgame, and Maxime couldn't really pose much problems, and game ended in a draw. And earlier in this tournament, in French Team Championship, I saw that first round against Amin Tabatabai. Uh, After d4, d5, c4, e6, knight c3, Laurent played knight f6, and Amin took on d5, e takes d, bishop g5, c6, e3, bishop f5, queen f3, bishop g6, bishop takes f6, queen takes, g takes f. And earlier also he had a game against Vincent Keimer in German Bundesliga, where also he entered that endgame, slightly unpleasant. So I just wanted to see what my opponent wants to play after knight f3. I went, honestly speaking, through uh, Timer's game and also Amin's game, but I was sure that though let's say Fressinet lost both the games, I was sure that he's experienced in that positions, and most likely he will avoid making the same inaccuracies or mistakes. So I decided to play knight f3. Of course, here he could do like whatever move he um prefers, but mainly he was going bishop e7. I'm sure that he is also uh, familiar with c5 or bishop b4 Ragozin or some other moves. So he played bishop e7, bishop f4, short castle e3, and I was mainly expecting c5, d takes c, bishop c5, queen c2, knight c6, a3. Yes, let's say these lines. Takes, queen c2, knight c6, a3, queen a5, rook d1, yes, and here some rook e8, rook d8, or even h6 move, and mainly h6 move. But he surprised me with knight b d7. Yes, for example, if c takes d, then knight d5 follows. Yes, white can go bishop e2 or bishop d3. Uh, yes, another move is being queen c2 to play. Yes, I played c5, the most principal move, c6. And here, one of the options, I played h3. Another move is to play here bishop d3. Let's say b6, always you meet with b4, a5, a3. And here knight h5, short castle, knight f4, e takes f, bishop a6, considered as very slightly better for white. Yes, engines are recommending bishop a6 move to play. That's why I started with h3. The point is being if b6, actually b6 was played before a5, a3, and now let's say, anyway, engines are recommending bishop a6. But of course, in some lines, white is getting extra uh, h3 move, and of course, white uh, does not allow any kind of knight h5. Though I should say that in bishop d3 line, knight h5 is not the most dangerous trait for white. And here my opponent surprised me again. I was expecting bishop a6, and I was ready to take, to go short castle. Yes, he went knight e4. Yes. After some thoughts, I understood that I don't have anything better than taking on e4 and going knight e5. He took, he played f6. Now white is choosing between where to place the bishop. Of course, bishop on f4, always under some e5 or g5. Bishop on h2 um, doesn't look much uh, better than on g3 because after some short castle, uh, white will have problems with the back rank. That's why I decided to go bishop g3, queen d5, and here I played bishop e2. All this was Laurent's prep. Here c takes b, there is just a takes b4. So I played bishop e2, and here he went wrong. He played bishop a6, of course, possible move, but the strongest is to go e5. For example, the best is to take d takes c. If you take c takes b, then simply a takes b, and nothing is working for white. Yes, if you go short castle, then yes, black is choosing. Black can take b takes c. Black can also take e takes d. Yes, the strongest is to take d takes c, and here a takes b, a takes b, and bishop e6. Yes, I checked it with the modern engines, and let's say with the precise play, white is getting some very, very tiny better position, but of course, game should end in a draw. So e5 is the improvement over Fressinet's bishop a6. Yes, of course, again, if c takes b, then a takes b4 follows. Short castle, a takes b is the strongest, a takes b, bishop takes, and here he had choice again, going b5 or taking b takes c. Yes, I was very optimistic again about my position after b5. I saw that I can go rook a5 with the intention to go rook f a1 and get control over a file. Yes, takes, rook a8, for example, rook a1 and rook a6. Honestly, when I saw that rook a6 move is there, I wanted already to go something else, but engines are recommending here that after bishop c7, white is doing better. Of course, I have another like very human move, queen b2, with the ideas to go rook a3 and slowly rook fa1. So I'm getting control over a file, and some of my heavy pieces eventually will get full control over a file. But engines are saying that after king f7, black shouldn't be much worse. So b takes c, I took with the b pawn. I could take with the d, but I did not like that opponent has opportunity to go e5 and completely restrict my bishop on g3. So I took b takes c and e5. Yes, if I was played, I took on e5 and f5. Yes, very classy idea and uh, the whole concept. So black is simply ignoring pawn on e5, just going f5 and trying to say that all the important squares are under their control. Let's say d5, d6, d7. Yes, here I could go h4, for example, and white is doing slightly better. I was for a long time considering rook a1. Of course, black's idea is not to take on c5. Black's idea is to go with queen e6. I was thinking about rook d6, bishop d6, c takes d, and here the strongest is rook a2 to go. Though my opponent said that he wanted to push c5, and I also considered for him c5. But here, after rook d1, white is doing better. So eventually, after burning a lot of time, I went rook a c1. Yes. And I was uh, psychologically uh, kind of thinking that my opponent outplayed me. Uh, Of course, I'm not worse, but I was really optimistic about my position. And yes, here when I spent enough time, I realized that like is having enough resources to maintain the equality or almost equality. So I played rook AC1, I played rook A2, and I played rook C2. I was thinking about my initial idea was to go queen H5, G6, queen H6. Yes, but then I realized that queen F7 move is there, and if queen takes F7, king just takes, and king comes to E6. And here I could go queen D1, but this was very hard to figure out. Yes, I played rook C2. Yes, here, for example, he could take on C2 and go G5, and black does not have much problems. So my opponent played rook A8. I played rook C1. For example, here even bishop takes C5 move is possible. So he took, and he offered me a draw. And yes, I understood that it's really hard to imagine what should happen that white might be in trouble. So I thought that if whatever happens, white is very safe and white will uh, be able to at least make a draw. So that's why I decided to continue the game. I took on c2 with the queen. And here, for example, after queen e6, black is having very solid position. And it's very hard for white to break through. My opponent started making some inaccuracies. King f7. Yes, I played queen b1. I could also go queen b2. The idea, of course, to go queen b7 or rook d1. Yes, and here, for example, after rook d8, black is doing more or less fine. And rook a5 was a huge mistake. I played queen b7. I could, for example, go queen b6, which would have been even stronger. The point is being rook b5, queen c7, and if you take, I just go rook a1. I keep the rooks, and very, very soon my heavy pieces will uh, enter to 7th or 8th ranks and create a lot of troubles for black. I played queen b7, rook takes c5, and I played rook a1. Yes. I was already thinking about that I'm entering to 7th rank or 8th because I was sure that rook a5 ideas aren't working. But my opponent went, and rook a5 was practically the strongest. For example, here if you take queen c6, black is just going queen a2, and then queen goes back to e6. So, but of course, my idea was to go queen d7, queen d5. Otherwise, e6 is finishing the game. Queen f5 and king g8. And during the game, I thought when I played queen d7, I thought this should be much, much better, but I did not play precisely later on, and my opponent slowly got counterplay with c-pawn. Yes, here for the best would have been just go bishop f4, c5, g4, and then later on king g2. Because if black is even pushing c5, c4, then it will be much harder for them to push c3. Queen c8 checks are always there. And slowly you improve your king's position, and you can also start pushing h and g pawns. Yes, it's not winning completely yet. Of course, some work requires even there. But of course, the way I played, yes, huge part of my advantage has gone. So I played queen h5, threatening queen e8, and I played queen g4. My idea was to go queen c8, and if king f7, queen h8, but my opponent just played king f7 and here h5, and nothing is really working. So I just wasted a couple of tempos, very important tempos. So I played queen b7, just stopping c5, but king e6. Now black is anyway threatening c5. Yes, instead of queen b7, I could go bishop f4. Yes, this. Anyway, we got. Yes, I played h4. And for example, here, engine recommends for black queen d1, king h2, queen d5. Has better defense than what Fressinet played. He went c5. And here I had queen h8, but having only 2 minutes, even less than 2 minutes on clock, it's hard to uh, see and calculate all the details. So the point is being after queen h8 that you are threatening queen h7 check, and if queen e6, there is queen a8. But of course, always opponent could go uh, queen e6, queen a8, and in a different way, uh, in a different ways, protect pawn on e4. So I played king h2. I thought anyway I need this move, but I was wrong. c4. Yes, we repeat it, and eventually I played bishop f4, queen c5, queen b7. My idea was if c3, then queen takes c4, c2, queen d6, king b7, and here at least I'm having e4. Yes, but after e4, queen f2 is hanging, and if e6, for example, here king c6 and queen e8, king b6. And according to the engines, c3 would have been the strongest, and the evaluation is around equal. Yes, my opponent played queen d5. Yes, and the final position here, we agreed in a draw after repeating the moves. Yes. After queen d5, let's say queen c8, king f7. I could go, let's say, king uh, g3. I was thinking about, and queen e6 move was there. Yes, and always queen is g4 checks are there. Yes, I could also go g3 and maybe king g2. In a different ways, I could improve a little bit more my position, and engines are showing that it's plus 0.6070 for white. But if I would know, I would probably continue the game. But already I thought that huge part of my advantage has gone. So it's the right time to make a draw and not to create any more problems for me. But I was wrong. Yes, thank you very much, dear friends, for watching this video. Uh, Another game from French Team Championship, another important theoretical battle, and many of you maybe can use the setup and the opening Laurent Fressinet has chose uh, has chosen against me. Yes, just let me remind you that for many years Laurent Fressinet was helping Magnus Carlsen, and he was in Carlsen's team for few World Championship matches. So he was well prepared, always in openings. Yes, very good theoretician and very good chess player. Thank you very much.